Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're here talking about Arwen today, and I want to talk about the importance of having fresh, clean water available for your goat at all times. Water is the single most important resource for goats. Just like with us, if they don't have it, they're going to die. But more than that, it is important for their ongoing health. To thrive, they do need 24-hour access to water. So never lock them up without access to fresh, clean water that tastes good. Because here's the thing with goats. We've talked about how they're picky. Goats won't drink water that doesn't taste good. So people have ended up with goats that got really, really sick because their people didn't change out the water, so their water was fouled and they simply wouldn't drink it. Hi, sweetie. So it's really important that you give them fresh, clean water that they absolutely will drink. We use buckets. You can use whatever you like. But water is important for their digestive health, and it's also important for their function of their rumen. And we have talked before about how the rumen is so important. There's a cat. But we've talked before about how the rumen is so important to their health. Horse going to play with the cat. But we know that they need their rumen working properly. A goat needs a properly working rumen for optimal health. Water is a key component of that. Remember, the rumen is where things go to ferment. Without some water, you're not going to be fermenting anything. So you need to make sure they have access to water that they'll actually drink. Now, in addition to just regularly needing water, like all mammals do, we all need water. But they need water because if you have lactating females, they'll need extra water because they're making milk. Boys need extra water anyway because, okay, this is what we're doing now. But boys need extra water anyway because it'll help prevent urinary tract problems. They cannot go without water, okay? There are so many reasons they need water. They need it to survive. So you want to keep your tanks and your buckets and your troughs full. It doesn't really matter what of those you use. So do you want to use a trough? Do you want to use buckets? Do you want to use automatic waterers work? It doesn't really matter as long as you have something that your goats can reach in. So make sure whatever you're using, you're just scratching your tummy there. Okay. But make sure whatever you're using isn't so high that they can't reach over, because that happens sometimes. Sometimes people with good intentions will have these things that are just too high for their goats because they have smaller goats and they didn't really... We're scratching our tummy. That's what we're doing. Scratching our tummy. But people don't always consider that the goat can't necessarily reach all the way to the bottom. So you might have water available, but the goat can't actually drink it, which is not good. So she's just being weird right now, by the way. Sometimes people are like, oh, is she sick? No. Goats are fine when they do that. They're, just doing goat things. So, goat things are weird. Anyway, it's important to keep those buckets or those troughs full and clean. Okay, goats have a tendency to, poop in their water, and they won't drink it once they've pooped in it. So you have to check water frequently and make sure that it is clean and available at all times. You also want to scrub your buckets and your troughs between uses because, again, nice stretchy goat time. But again, they won't drink fouled water. They won't drink dirty water. They won't drink water that doesn't taste good. They are stubborn as all heck. So keep it clean. Keep it fresh. Make sure that they're actually drinking it. Okay? Maybe they hate water when it's slightly warm and you have to make sure it's cold. You have to make sure your goat's actually drinking it. Because goats are literally the most stubborn creature on the planet. They absolutely will not drink what they don't like. And I don't know what Shadowfax is doing. Whatever. We don't care. If you're not home a lot, so we're home all the time. I can refill these buckets 12 times a day if I need to. If you are not home a lot, you are going to want... Hi, buddy. You are going to want to make sure that you have constant access to water. That might mean using large troughs or even automatic waterers. Automatic waterers are excellent if you are not home a lot or if you don't like hauling water. That's a really viable option. Just make sure that the automatic waterers are installed properly so that they are flowing correctly. Always check to make sure automatic waterers are working. It's happened, hi buddy. It's happened where people have had automatic waterers and they're not working, but they didn't check, and then their goats actually, big yawn, yeah. Then their goats actually dehydrate, and it's not good. So absolutely make sure your automatic waterers are working if that's what you're using. Water that your goat will actually drink is non-negotiable. Okay? It doesn't matter. They have to have their water. So make sure your goat is drinking it. Make sure it is provided. Make sure it is clean and fresh and served in not scuzzy containers, because they won't drink it if it's scuzzy. So absolutely double check. Oh, hi, buddy. Why'd you just back up into me? Shallavax backed up into me. But make sure that you are accounting for the fact that goats are picky as heck, and they won't drink water they don't like. They won't drink water that is not the temperature they want. They won't drink out of a container that's dirty. Make sure they are being provided with clean, fresh water that they'll drink. Because just like all of us, water is a necessity. And sometimes goats are idiots, and they just won't drink it, even though they really need to, because they're going to die. So make sure they're actually drinking the water you leave for them. You look fantastic, babes. She's like, yeah, I know. Anyway, that is about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. Make sure your water is provided and make sure it is fresh and clean. We'll see you tomorrow.